Hello and welcome to City Beat, the podcast where we dive into Southeast Asia's most pressing stories. I'm Jim, your host, guiding you through the region's complexities.
And I'm Dave, your on-the-ground analyst for all things local and regional. Today's episode is a serious one. After days of deadly clashes on the Thai-Cambodia border, both governments agreed to allow Malaysia to mediate. We're going to break down what happened, why it matters, and what comes next.
Let's start with the big news. On Sunday, Malaysian Foreign Minister Mohamad Hasan told Bernama News Agency that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim will host Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet and Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai in Kuala Lumpur on July 28th to kick off mediated talks.
That's right, Jim. Minister Mohamad said they have full confidence in Malaysia and asked us to be mediator. No other country should be involved. This unanimous request is a crucial breakthrough after almost a week of artillery fire and dozens of casualties.
Couldn't agree more, Dave. Having a single trusted ASEAN chair, Malaysia, signals both sides want a neutral third party. It's a positive step that could unlock the door to calming tensions and, hopefully, pave the way for a lasting solution.
Jim, you nailed it. The talks start Monday evening, July 28th. If they stick to that schedule, we could see a ceasefire announcement within days.
And a ceasefire is what everyone's praying for. Both sides have agreed, in principle, to halt hostilities. With Malaysia's mediation, the hope is that artillery shells give way to diplomatic dialogue.
To understand the gravity, let's rewind. This border dispute traces back to French colonial maps from 1904 and 1907. Ambiguities around Preah Vihear Temple and Phumtham laid the groundwork for decades of friction.
Fast forward to 2008. Cambodia's push to designate Preah Vihear as a UNESCO World Heritage Site ignited mass protests in Thailand. Skirmishes flared again in 2011 and 2013. Despite an ICJ ruling in 1962, the ambiguity persisted.
In May 2025, a Cambodian soldier was killed in a cross-border firefight. By July, clashes escalated, artillery exchanges, airstrikes, and landmines. The worst fighting in over a decade left more than 20 dead, Cambodian civilians and Thai civilians, and injured scores.
Families in 86 villages have been uprooted. Over 200,000 people evacuated to emergency shelters in Surin, Sisaket, Odarmenchi, and beyond. Aid convoys are delivering water and medical supplies, but the human toll is severe.
So why is Malaysia's mediation such a big deal? First, ASEAN's principle of non-interference has often kept it sidelined in disputes. But as chair, Malaysia's stepping up, showing that regional cooperation can work when member states demand it.
Couldn't agree more, Dave. And Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has been proactive. He called for a ceasefire on July 25th, and U.S. President Donald Trump echoed support for halting hostilities. That international backing helps pressure both sides.
Jim, you nailed it. With Anwar in the mediator's chair, we get a familiar face in ASEAN circles, someone who understands the region's sensitivities and has diplomatic heft.
Back home, domestic politics add complexity. In Thailand, Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra was suspended amid an ethics probe after a leaked call with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen. That scandal roiled public sentiment and weakened her hand. Meanwhile, in Cambodia, Hun Sen, now Senate president, remains a power broker behind his son, Prime Minister Hun Manet. Analysts say he's stoking nationalism to solidify his family's standing. That makes compromise tougher. Yet both governments overcame that internal friction to agree on Malaysia's role. It shows how desperate they are to stop the bloodshed.
Mediation won't be easy. Thailand insists on bilateral talks through its Joint Boundary Commission, rejecting ICJ jurisdiction. Cambodia has pressed for court involvement. Balancing those demands is a tightrope.
Couldn't agree more, Dave. Nationalist voices on both sides will push back. Every step toward compromise risks being slammed by hardliners. Malaysia will need to manage both the substance of the talks and the optics at home.
Jim, you're spot on. Plus, China's influence looms large. Beijing is a key ally of Cambodia. Any mediated agreement must align with broader regional dynamics and not alienate major powers.
Here's what to keep an eye on. July 28th, arrival of Manet and Phumtham Wechayachai in Kuala Lumpur. Will they sit down as scheduled? Ceasefire terms. Are they immediate or phased? Look for an official statement from Anwar's office. Joint working groups. Malaysia may convene technical committees on demining, border markers, and temple security. ASEAN summit response. Upcoming regional meetings could endorse or expand Malaysia's mandate.
And don't forget the humanitarian angle. How quickly displaced families can return home depends on real security guarantees, not just ceasefire pledges.
A successful mediation would bolster ASEAN's credibility. It's a test case. Can Southeast Asia peacefully resolve intra-bloc disputes without external powers stepping in?
That would be a positive development, Jim. It also reassures investors and tourists. Those border crossings handle billions in trade. Fuel, fruit, media, and cross-border communities rely on stability.
So that's the lay of the land. Malaysia officially brought in as sole mediator, talks to begin July 28th, and a region watching closely. It's the first real opening to calm the guns and find a long-term fix.
We'll be following the announcements from Kuala Lumpur and updating as and when we can. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment below or message us on Facebook.
Subscribe for more episodes where we unpack the stories shaping Southeast Asia.
Thanks for listening. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and here's to Malaysia's mediation unlocking peace at last. City Beat out.